Hey, good morning, YouTube universe. It is 11 a.m. here in Central Standard Time in Middle Tennessee, and coming to you guys live on today is Wednesday. Just checking in, and you'll notice for a work day, I'm in slightly informal attire and didn't quite get my shave in this morning, and am getting to this a little later than I hoped to. It was a bit of a dynamic day. So I went and got a haircut this morning, which I was stoked about. Nice person over at the Uncle's Barbershop in Franklin, Tennessee. Did a phenomenal job. And what I was most excited about is this barbershop opens at 7 a.m. I always have a tough time when I'm jumping to trying to, especially now with the baby, trying to get to things in the evening can be kind of tough. Puts the wife in a hard place, and then trying to do it on the weekend, but then the weekend comes and goes, and then or something comes up, right? So the fact they're open super early and I can get an appointment in that way is awesome. So that was where I was at early this morning, and then went right to baby duty as the wife had a um, a dentist appointment. So that is where I've been for the last few hours, and that was very interesting. I'll save stories on solo baby time for another day. Let's just say it is a good reminder of what great work what great work Mama's doing, watching the baby while I'm holding down the fort trying to earn an income. So that being said, the book review, I'm gonna do little book reviews as I go, or little chapter reviews, because why not? Helps keep me honest, helps keep me motivated to keep working through whatever material I have at the moment, and gives me a reason to talk to you guys and share some insight. So the book that I cracked open the other day after finishing The Outsiders is Money Masters of Our Time by John Train. The subtitle being New and Updated Appraisals of the Winning Investment Techniques of 17 of the Greatest Money Masters, both new and old, by a best selling financial expert. So the first chapter um, that I got through, I don't know, maybe the other last night or whenever it was, just a few pages, not super long, is a highlight of T. Rowe Price, aka Mr. Growth Stock. So, yeah, I think this guy was around basically in the early 1900s and essentially invented um, the the term growth stock. And let's see, he had um, it had a list of some of the companies he was concentrated in. Um, but again, what was kind of interesting is there was like some criteria thrown out there, and basically, I think his criteria was that basically something should go up 100% in value in 10 years, and if not sooner, if inflation is high, and you should be getting a dividend throughout. I think that was this chapter. I have gone ahead and started into the next section, which is on Warren Buffett, of course, being included. So I may be mixing some of these, but I guess basically so far, um, a very interesting review of T. Rowe Price. I didn't know who he was before checking out this book, and it gives you there's sections in here about valuations, scale buying, selling, and some of the other criteria. Can an amateur really do that? Consider some of prices, requirements for growth companies. They have 5 listed here. So 1 is superior research to develop products and markets. 2, lack of cutthroat competition. 3, comparative immunity from government regulation. 4, low total labor costs but well-paid employees. And 5, at least a 10% return on capital, sustained high profit margins, and a superior growth of earnings per share. So it's interesting as I've maybe taken this last round of book buying and research, continuing to look for some of those little golden nuggets of, how are people deploying capital? How are people taking resources and growing it and investing in things with a certainty that it's, they're going to get a return on their money, and these types. So that's a concept that's been very interesting to me recently, and haven't found the silver bullet. So that's been pretty interesting, to just continue to review lots of this material from different sources, and man, I'm excited to actually finish up a couple other ones I got going on to share those with you as well. A Philip Fisher book and a Howard Marks book. So I'm gonna keep digging in this material, and again, just the idea of, what makes a good business. How is capital deployed to ensure, growth over time. These are all very interesting concepts to me, because it ties into the idea of prosperity. So, because like personally, I think I've mentioned on here before, my mission over the last year or so has been to get my personal income up, and as I've been taking strides to do that, I think that will continue to be the priority for a long time. But eventually, the scope of work gets wider than that. It opens up and becomes a question of, okay, if we're able to accumulate resources now, how do we redeploy those, to ensure that they're growing, that they're multiplying. So just kind of an interesting concept, and we'll try and keep learning. So, if you guys have any good resources or interesting things to share, feel free to send it my way. Otherwise, hope you're all well, and I'll definitely be in touch.